Welcome back to another episode of Put It on the List. I am Francisco.
And I am Andres. All right, sir. What do we got this week?
This week on our show, we break down some goofy ass trailers. And we have nerd news of the week. We watch some things. We will share that with you. We also are going to put some things on the list. And we end with our world famous double feature, Sexy Time. All right, let's start the show. Buddy, what's going on?
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fucking hype.
All right. Why is that?
Oh man, I was kind of worried, because I had my fantasy football league draft the other night, and these fuckers decided to schedule it at 9:30 at night, and that's usually Mimi time for daddy, and so I'm like, I was scared that I was gonna be passed out. I'm like drinking stuff I shouldn't be drinking at that time of the hour. I'm like, maybe some caffeine that I shouldn't be drinking.
Little stimulation, little shaky.
Oh man, I'm like sitting there in the dark, just trying to stay quiet, trying to wake nobody up, and drive at the same time, and be like, motherfucker, they picked them, But yeah, man, I'm excited for football to start. I gotta say, also, I've been watching a little Hard Knocks,
and with your boy,
with my ex-boy, yeah, Aaron Rodgers. He's part of the Cheesehead clan and no more. So, but I got a little FOMO. Seeing him in a different uniform make me a little jelly. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, oh, but he looks better in the Green Bay green. But I'm gonna miss him throwing those sexy passes, the non-interceptions, because he's the most accurate quarterback of all time, and I'm gonna miss that. The Packers went from Brett Favre throwing the most interceptions of all time to the Super Bowl, right? To Aaron Rodgers, the least amount of interceptions and the Super Bowl. So the Packers have been spoiled. You know what I'm saying? It could have been better, but dude, 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in a row. I'm scared.
Yeah. Well, who'd you draft? Who was your first pick?
My first pick was Jamar Chase, wide receiver for the Bengals.
Was
and
he your
this
first
year
pick?
we switched it up. We have 2 quarterbacks in our teams, so it's like we got a super flex. So I have Justin Herbert again, and then pick up Dax Shepard as my second quarterback.
Was everyone else gunning for Herbert, or was it just you?
No, that was just me. It was like that was a scraps because everybody was going for Joe Burrow, Hurts, Mahomes, all these sexy ones. Herbert lost a little bit of the sign. He was hurt last year. So his numbers weren't as great as the year before that. So
he puts numbers up when he needs to. So I'm curious how it goes this year for him.
I'm curious too. I hope he does good because I'm be like, hijo de madre.
Mr. Fantasy Draft. All right. Well, we'll look forward to hearing more about how that's going for the rest of the season.
I know, right?
I'm telling you, you need a soccer pod and a fantasy pod so you can have round it all out. Because the listeners, I've listened to your bullshit on this pod the whole time.
Yeah. All right. Well,
start.
Yeah, we're gonna start with some trailers. All right. I was gonna say not so well known director, but I can't even fake the funk. Mr. David Fincher has a new movie coming out. It's called The Killer with Mr. Fassbender.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What are your thoughts?
Man, so you see what I wrote? I'm like, is this the trailer of the year so far?
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is I think the movie looks fucking cool, number one. Like, it looks like Fincher-esque all over it. Not just that, but the edit and the sound and like the it's like this trailer has rhythm and style. I'm like, what is happening? This is an awesome trailer. Very little dialogue. I want to say almost no dialogue. It's like maybe the very end. And I was like, what is this? It's just it got me so intrigued. Like we've been hearing about this for a little while, and finally the trailer dropped, and it's going to come out I think the end of the year. And I'm stoked. I the cinematography alone, I think it's going to be badass.
Yeah. It looks good, man. I mean, David Fincher, I'm already, unless what was the last one either? The black and white one
that we shall not talk about.
Yeah, that one. So, but other than that, I mean, he's pretty much pretty good.
Yeah, like even his shitty stuff is totally fucking watchable and good.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Fassbender, I mean, like the way the neuroses that character has, it looks cool. I'm excited. I don't know if I was as high as you are on it, but I'm excited and I'm gonna check it out for sure.
I mean,
the movie's called The Killer and it's David Fincher.
Yeah,
I'm expecting some things.
It's based on some other IP. I don't remember if it was a book or I know there's a movie John Woo did in the 90s called The Killer. I don't think it's going to be related to that though, but
no, because they redid it. It's called The Killers with. Remember they redid that in the 90s?
Oh,
it's with Marissa Tomei and Chung Fat. I think they yeah. It was called The Killers. They're like hitmen.
Yeah. Anyways, this is on Netflix. David Fincher and Netflix, they are simpatico. They do all their work together and it looks cool and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
All right. What else we got next on trailers?
All right. Next up, we got, speaking of goofy shit, One Piece final trailer on Netflix.
Yeah.
The show's out now as of we're recording. But it's based on an anime, a beloved anime. Some people said it's the best anime of all time. I've heard.
Me too.
So yeah, what do you think?
I actually watched like 30 minutes of it yesterday.
And let's talk about the trailer first. What do you think of the trailer?
Goofy. It's like I didn't know anything about the characters. I'm like, I can see how this is an anime thing, and then I think over the last couple of days, I saw some actual stills, some images from the show, and I saw they're comparing like the characters of who's playing who. I was like, it's a super stylized show.
Yeah,
so it's the goofiness kind of translates over to like how they look and act on live action.
Yeah,
and I gotta say, it's a pretty good balance of like goofiness from the animated show to the live action characters and the designs and the sets and all that shit. So I was like, yeah, that was the trailer. But go ahead. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, for me, I like right off because I've only seen like stills of the anime. I haven't seen any actual footage. I thought that I'm like, oh, I can see what they're trying to do with the anime. I mean, with the film or the show, and it translates, but I don't know if it's for me because I'm kind of picky when it comes to anime. I can't sit there and watch all anime. And like sometimes funny anime is not my bag, really. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And or like, it's like Jackie Chan. He's not really like, I don't like his old movies where they were funny and funny kung fu wasn't really my thing. So I kind of put that in this same corner. So I don't know if I would be able to enjoy it as much. But I mean, it looks good.
They spent some money. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah?
So I watched the first 30 minutes. This is not a review. I just barely I had a little bit of time and I'm like, I want to see what this thing's about. Apparently it's doing extremely well. Both critically.
They're talking about season 2 already.
And critically and ratings wise. And I checked it out. So far, it's enjoyable. It's not like blowing my mind. I think there is some room for more stylization. They could have tightened up a couple things here and there. But overall, like, and it's goofy and it's weird. But it's also very fun. And like the main character is extremely charismatic. I'm like, I kind of like this. This is different. And it's that tricky balance between animation.
It's almost like too whimsical, right? It's like whimsy. Has a lot of whimsy in it.
So far, yeah, but it's also there's also some violence in it. There's some shit. I was like, damn, that was pretty gnarly. Like, oh shit, that's
Mm-hmm.
gnarly. Um, but I like it. I like it so far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely. I want to check out a couple more episodes before I'm like, we'll
Mm-hmm.
see. But it's definitely worth checking out. I almost wonder if your daughter might like it because it's kind of like goofy enough and silly enough for kids, maybe, and
Yeah.
whimsical enough. And I mean, the main characters are kids for the most part, but we'll see. I'll let you know if it gets more violent because there's some violent stuff here and there, but it's not like bloody violent, but there's definitely some body parts. I'll say that. But there you go.
Cool. All right. Moving on to the serious grown-up trailer.
Hmm.
Ferrari, directed by
Hmm.
Michael Mann, starring Adam Driver, and I'm sure a ton of other amazing people.
Hmm.
What'd you think?
I think it looked good. You know what's really cool after watching the trailer? I'm like, dude, this needs to be like a double feature for Ford versus Ferrari. Like this looks like it'll go like right there because there's
Mm-hmm.
like they're showing the cars and like the race and like how hard he's pushing them, and I'm like, that looks just like Ford versus Ferrari from the other angle. I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, um,
Yeah.
visually it looks good. Doing his Adam Driver thing. Michael Mann, when Michael Mann's on, he's on, and this looks
Yeah.
like he might be on for this one.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, this looks good. Um,
Yeah.
I'm excited for this one. This is gonna be cool.
Me too, man. I'm like, there's not too many things I dislike. There's things that there's things that I like more than other things, but as far as disliking, I mean, there's not that many. Um, but I'm a huge Michael Mann fan, so I'm excited. He's pushing 80 or is 80,
Wow.
one of the two.
Dude, when he hits, he
So
hits. When he misses, he misses. And I think this is
he
gonna hit.
he's saying he's trying to get everything done before he has to go. So he has a lot on his mind, and I'm sure he's trying to hit everything,
That's why he
one
wrote
last
Heat
time.
2. When he wrote the
Yeah,
Heat 2 book, like came out, I guess, last year, I think he's trying to get more stories out, and it takes forever to make a film. So he's like, I'm just
yeah,
gonna publish a book. And I'm like, that's pretty cool.
yeah. And he's never been like a fast, like, Spielberg will be like, give me 13 months, I'll give you 3 movies, or
Yeah.
whatever.
He's got his
Just
teams
cranking
and
them
his
out.
systems,
Yeah. And
and
then
they're all good.
this guy's more of a like
Tour.
meticulous, like makes every detail kind of thing. But I'm excited, man. The racing stuff looks cool. The car stuff looks good. Adam Driver's team focus.
Yeah.
Um, we'll see where the accent lands because the last time my guy tried the accent, I don't know. It was a little shaky.
A little rough. I don't know. That one
But
was
we'll see.
the unintentional comedy. All right.
You live and you learn.
So yeah. These are some pretty. This might be our most solid stack of trailers in a while. Probably like a month or two.
Yeah. Man, you're really high on that killer trailer.
I thought it was awesome. I'm gonna watch it again,
Yeah.
but it's got
I'm gonna
style.
watch it again just to see what the fuck you saw. I didn't see all that.
All right, just make sure you actually watch the screen and have like the sound
Well,
on.
don't start with actually
You're
watching
not like
shit because you
crying because you're
actually don't
fucking
watch
boy
any of the
Aaron
trailers.
Rodgers. I watch all the fucking trailers except for the
No,
ones I
you
don't.
don't. Yeah, exactly. Which is most of them.
Anyways, moving on, son.
Moving on. News and tidbits.
Yes, sir.
News and tidbits. All right, man.
I guess I'll
First
take
up.
this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this week, so AI is an issue like all over the place, all the rage, strikes happening because of AI, studios insisting on AI, yada yada yada. A judge ruled this week that AI created works are not copyrightable, which is like, ooh, that's huge. That means if someone writes a script using AI, that shit is you can't copyright it. And studios are all about the IP and copyrights and locking everything down. So a judge just said if you use AI for anything, this all goes for artists too, like people who want to make like art using AI, you can't copyright that shit. So if you make some amazing design some character using AI, you do not have the rights exclusively to that person. Anyone could steal it from you. like dumbass. So yeah, you're basically stealing from other people. So I think this is a huge win for creators and creatives. And this might really affect. I'm curious how this affects the strikes because the judge just said you can't copyright AI, and the studios are pushing so hard for it. What the hell are they fighting for if they can't copyright this stuff now? So this is something that's not being talked about as much as I think it should be. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how it shakes out when, all the dust is settled and we see where everything lands. I think that the writers and the actors and all the creatives, they need the most, the more, the more help they get, the better. You know what I'm saying? Because, the evil empire, the studios and these big companies that are like triple merged together, they create these giant corporations and shit. They're gonna bully the little guys all the time, and they're only like a certain percentage of the actors or writers are like, rich compared to the amount of people that are like, they're just a grind,
Yes.
regular people that
Paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah. So anything to help those guys, man, I'm in, dude. So that's a good ruling, and hopefully it'll work in the favor of the writers and the actors and everybody that needs help.
I just hope it discourages like way less douchebags out there trying to claim to be writers or creatives of any sort because they just fucking plug a couple of words into this thing and it creates it for them. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Yeah.
Clear those people out of here. Like let the true creatives that work their asses off for stuff get the credit. So get out of here, you fucking poser AI jerk offs.
Yeah. Unfortunately, douchebags are not discouraged easily. They're douchebags.
But yeah, this is cool. All right, what's the next one we got?
All right, man. Next up, the Marvels might be the shortest film in the MCU.
They're saying like 90 something minutes, which is like hugely short. I think the shortest one before that was like 115. So just under 2 hours. This is going to be just over an hour and a half. Yeah. And I think that's fucking cool. Remember how we were talking like, where are the 90-minute movies at? Where are the 90 movies? Yeah. Get in, get out, have some fun. And I think I'm so curious. Like, this doesn't look like it's going to be a deep film. It looks like a space adventure. If you can get in and out in 90 minutes and it could be all like fun, because this film is not going to be a serious film. So you could hit it in like 90 plus minutes. Hell yeah. I'm even more like interested in watching this. And your thoughts?
Yeah, not every superhero movie needs to be fucking 3 hours, 180 minutes and stuff. But yeah, because even I enjoyed the Blue Beetle, and it was still long. It was like 2 hours and 7 minutes, and I'm like, man, they could have cut 15 minutes off this shit, And yeah, man, like when something's short, you were like, ooh, this is gonna take no time. We're gonna get through this real quick. So it's an incentive. I can see more people watching it because of that. Because people are like, damn, I got to watch 2 hours of this shit.
The other thing people don't take into account, which used to be a bigger deal, but now they don't make as big a deal of it, is the amount of times you can screen a film during the day. If your film is 3 hours, you can only show it so many times. But if it's in half that time, you could show almost double the amount of like times. You know what I mean? So you could get more money out of this shit, which is really cool. In less theaters, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Too bad is, I don't know, man. I have my spidey senses are against this movie. I don't know if it's going to be great.
I wouldn't say great, as long as it's fun enough. And I feel like Marvel's kind of starting to, they're in their rebuilding year, son. Like they are since Endgame, like they are rebuilding. And we'll see. This has got to be better than Ant-Man. This has to be better than Ant-Man 3.
We'll see. We know you like turds. All right, moving on. All right. Hulu canceled The Great.
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
Man, I saw this and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? They just kind of opened up a whole big storyline and it was going to get really interesting and they're going to get into like some of the huge accomplishments that Catherine the Great did. It's her time as a ruler, and as they were starting to hit its stride, canceled. I mean, everything's getting canceled right now because they're probably spending too much money, and this is not a cheap show. This is a period piece where all kinds of crazy shit's happening, like all over the place in crazy settings, and not a cheap show. So I guess that there's not making the cut. Didn't have enough people watching. This show's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, folks, The Great, it's hilarious. It is a dark, dark comedy. It goes dark, but man, it's funny. The Nicholas Hoult, man, the guy just steals every fucking scene, and I'm glad. I'm bummed. I'm glad that they get to go do other things, but man, I'm bummed. All right, moving on. I won't talk about it anymore.
Cool. Sorry for you, buddy.
Thanks.
I'm not gonna shit on it. All right, I'll let you mourn in peace.
Thank you. Appreciate it, shithead. All right, moving on.
Yeah. All right, man. HBO delays True Detective Night Country. I was excited for this.
Me too.
Now I gotta wait.
The first season of True Detective, dude. The shit.
Oh yeah, of course. I was like, is this better than Breaking Bad? Because it was airing at the same time. And I'm like, oh my God, like I can see people making cases and I'm like, oh, who's gonna get the Emmy? And then, they went with the, what do they call it? Limited series thing. So so it ended up not being a thing. So but I was concerned for a moment.
But yeah. So I mean, this just shows that the big studios know they need to start like spreading the content thin because they're not going to have shit for the first half of next year.
Yeah.
And damn.
Specifically, HBO's, dude, like or Max, HBO, whatever you want to call it. I can't remember the name of the website right now, but there's a website I look at and it gives you like highlights what they're going to release the next 2 months. And it has a little, whatever icon they have, like a little green H, a D for Disney, N for Netflix, a red N. And it has the little Max symbol and like in the next 2 months, I didn't see one single Max thing.
Wow, you got to see me in that thing. I want to see that. That sounds like a really cool layout for a design wise to just visually be like, damn.
Yeah. I mean, Netflix is the one that they're just beating people to the ground right now with new shit. I mean, we just talked about One Piece and The Killer and, they just keep, and Ferrari, all that shit's going to be on fucking Netflix. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, boom, boom, boom. Big Back Dog is coming out and just fucking smashing motherfuckers.
Probably that's why they're like, we don't need to settle this strike because they have like a backlog of shit while HBO's over here like, fuck, give us a lifeline. Can we get some of that Ferrari? Give us some Ferrari. Come on. Give us a little taste. Give us a little Ferrari. Give us like 1 weekend of Ferrari.
They're out there renting their shit out to Netflix now. So it's like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah. All right, man.
All right.
Oh man, I can't believe we have to wait till 2024 for that shit.
This is like early 2024.
Yeah. But it could have been a month from now.
But they are saying it's taking the slot of Last of Us from last year, which killed. So they're kind of, I think, also kind of banking on it could kill in that slot.
Oh, yeah, we'll see.
True Detective is not Last of Us, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's different. All right, man. Taylor Swift scares the shit out of people. She has a documentary film coming out, and pre-sale tickets came out and murdered any pre-existing record or sales record they had. It beat the Spider-Man. Was it Homecoming or Far From Home? No Way Home. Yeah. So yeah, man. She's trying to like dominate everything, dude. She's like flexing on fools, dropping elbows, doing the fucking tombstones and pedigrees and doing all kinds of shit on everybody.
And she's doing it with a smile. I don't know. Apparently she seems classy. So I'm like, all right. It's not a documentary so much. It's a concert film. I guess they just filmed one of her concerts recently. Yeah. And they're like, let's put it in theaters because these fuckers haven't already seen enough of her massive tour. And yeah. It's crazy. She's in Mexico City this week, apparently. I'm like, Mexico City's gonna Taylor Swift? Gay? But yeah, apparently it's a big thing. And
such a grumpy old fuck. Get off my lawn! Like, you gotta let the kids do their thing, bro.
No, that's cool. She's going across cultures, but yeah, movies have been shifted either up by like a week or two or back by like a week or two to stay away from the opening of this concert film, which happens in October or some shit. I didn't actually look that up, but dude, and it was just announced like a week or two ago that this thing even exists, and they're like, by the way, and here's pre-sales, and then it sold like fucking like $30 million in like 24 hours, which is like insane. Here's my question. I'm curious. Here's my question to you. How much of those tickets do you think were bought by scalpers?
For a movie theater?
Dude, because it's been happening recently. And anything Taylor Swift related, I think the scalpers are out like in full force. People who aren't even scalpers. Like I know people who don't have anything to do with that business bought a bunch of Taylor Swift tickets just so they could resell them for like $1,000 more each. I'm like, holy shit. There's an entire fucking black market industry right now dedicated to Taylor Swift stuff happenings. I'm like, holy Jesus. But I'm curious how many are going to be scalpers, because people have been doing scalping tickets more and more in the last couple of years, and you can return these like you get a full refund right before the movie starts, so you can buy a shit ton of tickets, and if no one buys them for your fucking whatever $50 each, you just return them and you lose no money. So that's a pretty crazy thing that I think people are going to be doing. I bet you. So we'll pay attention to see if this happens. That's my prediction. I bet you there's a shit ton of scalpers out there for this.
We'll see. I've never heard of that, of fucking movie tickets being scalped.
Yeah, it just happened. One or two film festivals this year. It was like a big problem. Like people like
for film festivals, I get, but like to the old AMC blah 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 multiplex.
It was happening for Oppenheimer with IMAX. People were buying up the entire theaters and then scalping them, and it was happening. And it was like, holy shit! And they were asking for like 2 or 3 times the price, at least minimum. And I think movie theaters are like a non-risky business because they will give you your money back like 10 minutes into the movie or some bullshit.
Yeah.
So like,
I would just say, I don't like the sound. Can I get my money back?
Yeah, I don't like their face.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty trippy. But yeah, regardless, this is like the Taylor Swift force of nature is just smashing through everything right now still.
Yeah. And I don't see it stopping anytime soon, man. We'll see.
Wild. Pretty wild. It's fun just to be on the outside watching it, because I'm not Taylor Swift person. I don't think you are either, but it's still fun to watch him on the outside. The kid's having fun.
Not in public. Just kidding. I mean, I might know a song or two. All right, moving on. What we watched.
Yeah. All right, this was a cool one finally. This one we've been lagging. We've been so lagging on this. Well, when I say we, I mean me. I finally caught up to where you were mostly at. All right, what do we watch?
The season finale's out, so I get to watch the last 2 in a row. I'm so excited.
And we are talking about Lioness.
Yeah, SpecialOps Lioness
on Paramount.
Paramount Plus. Yeah, another Taylor Sheridan show.
He writes every episode, like almost every episode. There's a couple where he has like a co-writer, but like 90% of everything is while he writes. Like, dude, this dude, does he ever leave his typewriter? Like, holy Jesus.
Yeah. Yo, this fuck bitch typewriter. Typewriter.
You know what I mean, asshole. That's fucking hilarious.
Oh, let me make sure the ink is good on the typewriter before I get on it, son. Damn, bro. Fucking typewriter. I don't think they stopped making those, I think, for typewriter.
This is how I see it. Everything he writes is a Western, so I figure he's got to be sitting there on an old school typewriter fucking doing some gnarly ass shit.
You see him like with the fucking keys making noises. Click, 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 click. Damn, bro. Sometimes I'm like, are we the same age, man? God damn, bro. Oh, typewriter ass. All right, yeah, man. Going back into Lioness, yeah, he writes everything on his computer. And, Yeah, man, it's funny, dude. Like, I don't know how you have so much content in your head and just like keeps
Right?
coming. Like it seems like a fluid stream, just like boom, like, oh yeah, this is his, this is his, this is his. Yeah. And then you mentioned something like, well, when you were watching it, talking about a plot point between this
Sicario.
show and Sicario and stuff being the
Mhm.
same thing,
Yes.
and that he
Direct.
used the gimmick or the thing of the cartels apparently are smuggling terrorists into the United States or whatever. And that you said it was lazy, or like, why did they use the same thing? And
Yeah.
then I was thinking about it, and then I mentioned to you, like, what if it's just one universe,
Then
and
I
like
was like,
all his shows are like the same universe? Like the Sicario universe lives in with Special Ops and universe, and the Wind River universe is part of this too. Like, we got everybody involved and stuff. What if maybe there's gonna be some crazy ass you know what do you call it, crossover event,
dude,
some down the future.
if James Brolin shows up like in the next season of Lioness or whatever, I'm like,
Yeah,
that would be awesome. There's no reason for it not to. I mean,
yeah,
they're all grounded ish, you know what I
yeah,
mean? So yeah, why not?
yeah.
But
Did you
anyways,
get that
Lioness.
scene where on Lioness where basically
Are
Zoe
we about to spoil?
Saldana
Are we about to
and
spoil something? Are we okay?
I mean, not really. I don't think it's a spoiler. It's just like we've seen everybody that's gonna be in the show on the trailers. So,
Okay.
but when they're going there and they see the senator or whoever it is, the Secretary of Defense, and it's Morgan
Mhm.
Freeman,
Yeah.
and they're getting just their ass chewed out. That was a good
Yeah.
scene. That was a
Yeah.
good scene.
So you see him sitting there, you're like, ooh, someone's
Yeah,
in trouble.
yeah,
But yeah, we watched through episode 6 and I believe 7
yeah,
and 8 because we wanted to watch like the finales this week, and we'll watch
yeah,
it and we'll talk about it next week. We don't have to talk about spoilers. I think I'll just
yeah,
say this show is impressive. Like it just goes, and like the
yeah,
only thing that's kind of rough sometimes, they kind of lose um, what's going on in the main story because there's
yeah,
so many side stories that are all
yeah,
super entertaining. You get wrapped
yeah.
up, and you're like, Jet,
And you
Jet,
ask yourself,
Jet,
like, which was
Jet.
the main story? Like,
Yeah,
because in the beginning of the series, you start following the girl right from abusive background, joining the military and stuff like that, and sometimes she gets put on the bench, and
for a
then
while.
yeah, and then you start going to another thing, but the shit's so cool that you don't even give a fuck. You're like, this is cool too, and yeah, and it's funny, like once you start watching Taylor Sheridan shows, you can tell he likes certain actors because he keeps writing scripts and roles for. Because all these people have been in all his shit. You know what I'm saying? I've seen them all on Yellowstone or the mayor of whatever
Yeah, yeah.
the
East
what,
Town or
yeah, what's his name, Jimmy Renner show.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And
gotta
then
watch that.
they're going to Tulsa King. That's another show of his. I watched one episode and it was pretty cool. I just haven't gone back into it. But yeah. So he loves the people. If he likes you, you're gonna have work. So he keeps putting the same people in this in his shows.
And he casts a certain type, like a very like, I don't want to say stoic, but like stoic-y slash the little bit of hard. And you can have like a little humor at times. There's like a thing, and
Yeah,
like that's the whole thing with like this military team. When you start to get to know them, like none of them are just there. Like you
yeah,
kind of everyone has like a little moment that makes you understand them or not
yeah,
like them, and everyone's clearly defined in a short period of
yeah,
time. Like that's skill, and he
yeah.
writes and directs a lot of it, and he's got his team of folks, and there's a certain
Hmm.
style about it, and people were calling this show like pro military. I'm like, I didn't really see that.
Yeah.
Like did you
I
see
think
the
part of it
beginning?
too is like try to like the work life fucking balance. Like Zoe Saldana's job is intense and crazy, but
Yeah,
her personal life is not any less.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, but that's like uh, people that have kids. So that's a day to day kind of thing. So I'm like, man, we have to make choices like that too. Like, what are we gonna do? I mean, like, I thank God that I haven't had any kids get in any accidents, but it could happen. It's realistic. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like yeah, dude, it's just crazy how the work life balance is such a big part of the show. And the interesting part of the show.
Yeah, it humanizes them, and it shows like their jobs are complicated and their home lives are also equally complicated.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, and it just, you kind of feel for them. And like, they're not perfect. No one in this show is perfect at all. Everyone's flawed, but it's like, but you're still kind of rooting for them for the most part.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, the show just goes and shit goes down, and it's not happy for a lot of people, and it's really well shot. They did a great job. Overall, it's just fucking like this random thing is just happened, and they're all entertaining. And it's like, okay, another shooting up with the cartel. I'm like, all right, what's going on? But that's pretty cool.
And I wonder if that's how he is in the writing room. Sheridan, and he's like, all right, man, remember, like he's got like 4 whiteboards, and it's like just like we're laying out the story for each one of the things that are happening simultaneously. You're like, what? And you're trying to like wrap your head around them, like, what the fuck is this guy on? Yeah, and then he's got like 5 other shows that he's writing too at the same time.
I think there's a lot of formula to it. I just can't quite crack it, but it's like, happy, sad, sad, happy, happy, sad, sad, happy. Okay, hope, no hope, hope, no hope. It's like a constant kind of a thing. And it's like, let's make things hopeless, and then let's make them worse. And you're like, oh shit. Then let's pull everyone out. But that's pretty much all I got to say. I think next week when we watch the finale, let's go into some spoilers and talk about. I'm assuming some folks are gonna die, and we'll see how that shit goes. Yeah.
One last question for you. Because you know the amount of work that he's doing and stuff like that. Over under 3.5 typewriters that he has to get all this work done. You're going over 4 because he's got like 5 shows. So I don't know.
You think he burns out the ribbons or something when he's typing,
or he leaves the paper in mid story, so he doesn't have to like load up the paper from a different, for a different story.
Bro, he's rich. He's got like one of those infinitely paper rolls that just keeps going. That's what it is.
But how does he divide like the story? Like, are they color coded? Because it's like I use the yellow paper. I'm like this typewriter, or like I'll get the wooden typewriter with the metal keys for the for the Yellowstone.
Maybe his typewriter. His typewriters have typewriters. That's how fucking badass this guy is.
I was just asking what kind of fucking typewriters.
To answer your question, 4.
All right. Okay, here we go. We're going into the future, Pops. All right. We're going into space.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Sci-fi. I don't want you to fucking blow a fuse. There's space and aliens and shit out there. All right. Ahsoka episode 3. Yeah. What do you think, man?
I liked it. I think we can go into some spoilers. Did you go some spoilers?
I like it. I like it, except I do have like a nitpick, but that's it.
I got some feedback, and people were like, "What the fuck's wrong with you? Why are you such a hater?" That's what I was being asked. You
a hater
on
for
Ahsoka because you didn't like it as much as I did.
Well, I got more. I got more to add to it.
All right, episode 3. I liked it. I liked that it was short and focused. I wish a little bit more could have happened, but at the same time, visually, some stuff happened where they spent all the money, and I was like, "Fuck, that's cool." How much stuff do I want to get? The
fights? Did you like the fight again?
No,
the space fight.
That was fine. Had a lot of classic Star Wars. I'm talking about when they're just flying around with the creatures, and I was like, "That's." Oh yeah, I guess.
The whale stuff that was cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
My nitpick.
Go ahead.
My nitpick is when
are we going into spoilers? Are we going into spoilers?
Yeah, spoiler.
All right, here we go. I'm setting the timer.
There we go.
Nitpick spoiler boy. Go ahead, go.
Sensitive feelings,
folks. Fast forward 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes to avoid spoilers for Ahsoka episode 3. All right, dude. What else we got? Ahsoka.
All right. When she put on fix the ship, I'm gonna go outside, right? And she fucking goes outside.
I forgot about that part.
And her spaceship and stuff like that. And she's fucking out there like, what is she doing? I mean, like she cut one ship, but then it knocked her out. But it's fucking funny. Like she's out there doing cartwheels and shit. And I just remember like, I just remember this fucking GIF or a GIF of a cat doing fucking cartwheels in space and shit. And I just thought of that. I'm like, what is she doing out there? What the like? I thought she was gonna go man the gun or something. You know, like she's out there,
I'm not
like
gonna
just
lie.
like
I was like,
fucking doing
what?
acrobatics and shit, like karate against fucking spaceship with lasers. And like normally, like when they do that shit on the ground, they turn and they run away from it. But she's like, yeah, doing fucking cartwheels and shit.
I wish I could record this video right now because you're over here pretending to do cartwheels. You don't do cartwheels well. You're kind of like,
No,
uh,
no.
uh.
It just goes one way. That's it. So yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this? Is this like I could just see her fucking floating like this? Hey.
I gotta tell you, from a strategic standpoint, I'm gonna grade that a fucking F because like ships fly unless you can jump like 900 miles an hour and you can jump like a mile away and jump back.
Yeah.
Use a fucking gun. You know what I mean? That's what the guns are for.
Yeah.
These ships don't have like, they come equipped with guns, not like Jedis that'll go on to your wing and just stand there. I'm like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
And then
And like her lightsabers are like shorter ones. They're not like they seem like shorter ones, right?
Yeah,
they're like
so.
more like, I don't know, whatever weapon it's called, but I was like, man, what are you doing with those little ones, man? I don't know. That was my nitpick. I enjoyed the show a lot more than the other one, the last episode, because I feel like this one I had more heart. You know, like you saw them kind of connect and you saw Ahsoka smile for a second. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, God, she's alive. Underneath that makeup, she's alive. You know what I'm saying? So I like that part. I like the training sequence, you know, and I like the whole the droid. I can't remember his name, but he's pretty cool.
David Tennant is the voice of the droid. Is like, after I saw that, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And then we really started to like the droid even more. I'm like, oh, this is fucking cool.
Yeah. I mean, Sabine was cool. She like everything was cool except like that one little thing. And then it felt short, so it left me wanting more. So that's a good thing.
But I'd rather it be shorter. I mean,
me too. I'm just saying, like they did a good job because the previous time I was like, "Is this it, my guys?"
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I think it's a great balance. It's not an Andor depth of character, but it's also like it's much tighter, and we're more into it than some of the other shows and episodes, and it's also focused. You know what I mean? It's not like all over the fucking place. Like, just keep it focused, keep it fun, focused and fun. That's all I fucking want from a Star Wars show.
Yeah.
And there we go. All right. We're done with spoilers?
Oh, yeah. All right. Next up, somebody went on a little murder binge. Only Murders in the Building.
Mm-hmm.
The new season. I haven't started it yet.
I think we're 4 episodes in on Hulu.
Yeah. A little
fuck, man. This show.
Binge.
So no spoilers, clearly. There's not really a lot to spoil this episode, this season. This season it's a little different. I don't want to, it's not spoiling by saying different stuff. There's murders. Don't get me wrong. There's murders.
Yeah. But I know the one murder, the famous murder.
It's not, but the show's almost not even murder focused this season. They kind of start doing this different twist on it. And it also leaves it open to be like maybe the funniest damn season so far, with Martin Short and Steve Martin just fucking going for it. Like, there were some moments like, dude, we were dying. There was some shit that they did, and I was like, oh my God. Like, we forget sometimes there's even a murder that they're trying to solve because they're doing all this other shit that like takes place, and you're just like, this is fucking, I don't even care. This is hilarious. They need to keep doing this forever. These two guys, man, a national treasure. Both of these guys. Like, they're so damn funny together.
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple of interviews, I think, in the last like month or so with these two guys.
Mm-hmm.
They are so funny. Like,
together, looking forward to finally getting into it after the Lioness. Yeah. And we'll see. Man, I don't know how much this football stuff is going to cut into my television cutting time.
I'll just tell you how much your opinion sucks, and I'll just tell the right fucking opinions on these shows that you're not going to be watching, and we'll figure it out.
You can send me a letter once you type it out on your typewriter. You old timey fuck.
Oh man.
All right. Moving on. Here we go. Winning Time on Max.
Yeah,
One of our favorites.
I think I'm episodes 1 and 2. Did you finish 3?
Yeah, I'm all caught up. I'm all caught up, son.
So yeah, no spoilers on that one. But how's the season treating you so far?
I like it, but part of me is like, because I know, I mean, not everybody knows what happens, but I know what happens, or like people that follow the sport knows what happens. So I'm just like, I just want to, hey, get to it. Get to it. I want to see it. It's like, I want the smoke.
I don't know what you're talking about because I'm not familiar with the history, but it opens up with some shit and it time jumps a little bit. And I was like, this is impressive. And by episode 2, like they condense a ton of time. For the first 2 episodes, I was like, damn, they're like building and showing a lot. I'm like, this is cool. Like they're like,
I think they did a whole season in 2 episodes or something.
They did. I didn't want to like spoil anything, but there you go. They do that, and I was like, this is fucking cool. This is
not pushing. A spoiler.
Not really, but they're pushing things forward fast in season 2. I'm like, damn, this is dope. Like they're trying to get to something.
Yeah, no, they're going to, man, because it's the dynasty of the Lakers, right? And like they won 5 titles, so they only have 1 so far. Yeah, and then they got the Larry Bird, thing going on where like they hate each other, and there's reasons for them to hate each other and stuff. And that's when like, get to it. I want to see it. And like there's versions of some of the players that they need to change physically. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not gonna spoil for those sensitive fuckers. But yeah, man, they just it's just interesting. And like I know that they took storytelling freedom to maybe make it more saucy. But it's fascinating seeing all the behind the stuff.
I'm assuming a lot of it's true because they go into some stuff. I'm like, oh shit, that happened. Oh shit, did that happen? Oh shit, that happened too. But it's so well done. Like how to present it, so stylized and fun and fast and crazy. You're like, all right. It's very like documentary. Like you feel like you're watching a documentary of this crazy stuff. But yeah, on HBO, Winning Time season 2. Check it out if you guys haven't. One of our favorite shows.
Yeah, and it gets getting better, bro. Like I'm ahead, so I'm like, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm a happy pot.
You don't have to be a sports person or a basketball person to like really dig this show. The show is just good. Period. Like you get into it, and like, oh shit. All right. Should we move on to this last one?
All right. Yeah, let's do it. Moving on. Somebody watch Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny last night. That was me. I watched it.
Yeah. How did you watch it? How much did you rent it for? Like $45 or something?
I think bought it for 20.
Okay. Wait, you did or someone else?
Somebody else bought it for 20. I was at my sister's house.
All right.
Shout out Dave. He likes buying things.
Good job, you moocher. How did you like, without spoilers?
What's up with the hate, bro?
Without the spoilers, how many typewriters, 1 through 5, would you give the film?
They lived in a period when there was typewriters.
Oh, now it's okay to talk about typewriters, but the Cowboys and Indians didn't. Anyways.
There was no Cowboys and Indians. Hey, don't be like that, girl. You hurt? You hurt? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? It's okay. It's okay. We'll go get a latte.
All right. How many whips out of 5?
Ooh. 3.5.
Okay. It's average. Little above average. That's a passing grade, I would think.
But I don't know if you're going to finish it. Because
fascinating.
The best part is after Act 2. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so hang in there.
Act 1 is no good, my guy. Act 1 is, that was rough, dude. That was rough. And then there's still some character, like even in my favorite, the last, I don't know, hour, it was way better. And some of the character development and stuff like that. was not there. And I think I was really liking it when they started hitting on some like repeating themes from the series. You know, you're like you start getting like, oh,
Nostalgic.
this feels familiar. You know what I'm saying? Like the pacing or like
Mhm.
the swashbuckling. You know, like the adventure, like the accident. It's accidentally cool. You know, like all that shit. Um, it starts feeling familiar. You're like, oh, I know this. This is cool, and it's like, and then you kind of forget, like, oh yeah, he's old, you know, and then some things because it's the story's moving along in a cool way. Um, and what's her name? Phoebe Waller Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
She tried to do a good job. Her character was a little confusing at points because she like there's some decisions they made when they were writing it that she just made like a left turn or right turn, and it's like, what, you weren't doing that before, why are you doing it now? So there was some confusion there with her, and I think they could have like developed her character a little bit better, but overall she did a great job. I felt like the chemistry was there, the characters that they played were good, and
I'm
but yeah,
super
like
looking for. I want to see what she does in the film. Like, huh? Like,
yeah,
I would never would have guessed those two together because I'm a big fan of hers in Fleabag. But I'm like, all right, what's gonna happen here?
yeah, but yeah, so yeah, I liked it. I really enjoyed the last 45 minutes.
All right, that's good news. Um,
So I don't know if you get through the beginning though.
well, that's what the fast forward button's gonna be for, isn't it?
Because we were like looking at each other like, oh shit. Even my sister that doesn't like um really give a shit about special effects or anything like that, she was like, why does he look like that? You know? So
I'm guessing you're talking about the de aging stuff, and
yeah.
we'll see how that
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
Ugh,
At least they get
ugh.
that shit out of the way first, bro. Do it like that.
All right. Well, I'll let you know when it comes on Disney. I think it's going to be on in a few weeks, less than a month. I think it should be by now.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. But all
Yeah.
right, moving out of the Indiana Jones verse, what do we got
Mm-hmm.
next?
All right. Now we're gonna add to the list. We're gonna put something new on the list. And it is Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
Did you
it
watch
comes
it?
on. No, it's on Blu-ray. It's going to show up in a couple days.
All
So
right.
I don't know if I can watch it in time for our next episode, but I'm so excited to watch this film. This you
Yeah.
called this your favorite film of the year so far,
Yeah.
and so I'm
I
like,
haven't
fuck
seen Oppenheimer or Barbie or
yeah.
anything. The last thing I think I watched was Ninja Turtles.
What
But
you loved.
which I loved, yeah. And but yeah, this one it's just badass, bro. Badass.
That's why I'm like, all right, I'll pay my $25. The Blu-ray is going to come in a couple days, and I just want to own it and have like the best quality that I can for this thing for right now. I'm like, I'm excited, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
carve out some time to watch it, hopefully, and
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to talk about it.
Yeah.
So that's a fun
When
one.
something funny that happens. So the score for this Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse came out, and like there was one producer, his name's Metro Boomin, right? Hip hop producer
Okay,
or pop music producer, whatever. And he has another. He did an album, right? And he had a song with The Weeknd, and it's on the radio. And the guy says, "If you're creeping on the low, I don't want to know." Something like that, you know. But it was
mm-hmm.
so funny, dude. The other day, like I was driving, and then we got out of the car, and it's me and Zenaida, and all of a sudden she starts singing that song, and I'm like, oh my goodness, she's a little too young to be singing about creeping on the low. I'm like, and I don't want to know. And I'm like, I like that song, Daddy. I'm like, no, baby, don't sing that song. Oh, such a horrible message. Anyways, Metro Boomin, fuck you. But anyway, the score of the movie is good. I'm just like, she's a little too young for it.
Sure. All
And that's
right.
not even in the score. That's a separate album, but it's on the radio, and it's just always on.
I do not know that one. So, Old Man on Drugs.
Oh,
I'll look that
really?
one up.
Yeah. I was gonna send it to you to be like, hey, listen to the song, and I know you're not gonna like it, but I had a funny story.
Well,
I
there
should
you
have
go.
sent it to you.
You should have sent it to me.
Yeah, next time.
We'll talk
All
about
right,
it.
man.
All right.
Moving on. It's time for our world famous double feature. Yeah, buddy.
Yes,
In
sir.
honor of Michael Mann's releasing that trailer for Ferrari, we're gonna go with a car themed movie or something to do with racing or something to do with cars. Boom, 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 boom.
Fast moving items.
Yes, something with four wheels.
All right. Go ahead and go for it. I got two.
All right. I got two. I got two. So we can go back and forth if you want. But I'll go first. And I'm happy I'm going first. And I'm gonna go with Drive. With Mr. Beautiful Ryan Gosling wearing that beautiful jacket.
Damn.
And it's a scorpion. And he doesn't say much. He gets straight to the point. And he gets things done.
What the director, Nicholas something,
Refn
something.
Yeah.
Only a handful of films, but they're all pretty badass. Mm-hmm. And this film is like shockingly cool. It's like so quiet and mellow. And then it turns into like 11 with the dude's head exploding or something. You're just like, what the fuck?
The elevator scene, you're like so tense.
They had the chase scene where they're like in the desert mountainy area. You're like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
And Christina Hendricks showing up for like a very short period of time. We're like, shit. Drive is awesome. It's, I mean, if you're not in after the opening scene, it's not gonna be for you.
No.
But that film goes places. It's a good pick, man. That's a really good pick.
Yeah.
Mine is less crime. Mine's more like fast car. A film that I think is kind of underrated is 2013 Ron Howard's Rush. You watch that with Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah.
What's his name? Daniel Brohl.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect when I watched this film. And I was really impressed. Like, this film is pretty badass. Like it's F1 racing.
Yeah.
And they shoot a ton of it, and some of it's in the rain, and how they shoot it's really awesome. And it's got fucking energy, and you're just like, damn, you're feeling it, man. And it's got a little story of these two dudes that are like big time rivals, and they're both opposite. Like, one's like the Chris Hemsworth, like the party playboy type dude who just wants to get all crazy and not give a shit. And then you have Daniel Brohl's character, who's just like the precision driver, who's like, you guys do everything right. And they like hate each other in the movie, but they kind of like push each other to be better. Man, it's a good film.
That's just like Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. One works at it, and the other one is God-given talent. So
leave it up to you to fit a football reference, sucker, into an F1
thing. I'm just pointing out the similarities. And it's funny, dude, like when you say underrated, I totally see that because, man, one thing, like, you forget how good Ron Howard is when you start watching his movies, and then you watch a Ron Howard film. I'm like, that guy is good. He's a great director. Like, he has some misses, but mostly like just solid work, man. Like, he knows how to tell a story, man. And he knows how to, get you invested into the characters and make you feel something. I love Ron Howard films.
He is just a filmmaker, man. Even his stuff's not like some of it's not like amazing. It's still very well done. He can tell a story. Like what is it called? Frost Nixon. Even that film is like based on a play, and he took this play and made it a really interesting film. And you're like, it's not like an edge of your seat kind of thing. It's just like these two dudes playing checkers with each other, chess, mental chess. And it's like, this is interesting. But Rush, a lot of adrenaline in that film. That would have been fun watching in theater. Did not watch it in theaters because I was a little like, but I should have. All right. Cool. What's your backup pick?
My backup was a classic. Grew up watching it, and I still love it. Days of Thunder, good old Cole Trickle, man.
I was like, should I? Should I? Tony Scott.
Yeah.
It's basically Top Gun, but in NASCAR.
Yeah.
And it's really well shot, and the racing's fun. The music is fun. It's
Randy Quaid dialing it up.
That's right. The whole
Robert
cast,
Duvall dialing it up. Yeah.
The whole cast is pretty great. Like there are some great moments throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
Robert
Michael
Duvall,
Rooker.
I think Robert Duvall was the one who kind of like is like the most like enjoyable dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Days of Thunder is fun. There's like some slow stuff in there where the whole Nicole Kidman comes in. He's got to like get his groove back because he's
scared,
all screwed up. Yeah, it's a fun film. That's when I first learned about drafting. I'm like, I gotta learn how to draft him on the freeway so I can go much faster. Notes this up. Don't do that. But Days of Thunder is fun.
Yeah.
My second pick, just in case, was Baby Driver.
I knew you were gonna get that. I knew you were gonna pick that shit. I knew. You've already picked it before.
Well, I'm picking. That's why it's my backup. Like, there's no way he's gonna choose Rush. Baby Driver is fun, but that's more of the criminal area. So I think Drive and Baby Driver would be a really cool. Or you could just do racing, and you could do Days of Thunder with. And we already talked about Ford versus Ferrari, which is a fucking fantastic.
I know. I mean, I'd probably pick that first, like honestly, but we talked about it before, and it's kind of really recent too.
It's too easy.
And another one that I picked before was Mad Max Fury Road. You know, if you want to go automobiles, you got that one. Yeah, but I picked it before, so I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, I hear you. Good job.
Man, good films.
Dude, I watched Drive. I watched Drive in the last like 6 months.
Oh, did you? It still holds up?
It's on something.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little different from I remember. Like I remember being more of this way, more of that way, but man, it still holds up. Like but yeah.
Is it long or short? I can't remember if it's long or short.
I'd say medium. It doesn't really feel long. Even the long stuff is really cool. Like when he's driving in the LA riverbed, just all slow, the music's playing. It's got a great soundtrack. You're just like, this is cool. Like it's just a cool film.
All right, man. Any other last things you want to add to the show? Because we did it. We did. I'm looking forward to. I think we're going to chat about 1923 next week. So I finished watching that. I think we're finally going to get into what we do in Shadows. We got to be getting close to the season end. I think there's only one more episode. Yeah. But man, it's been hilarious. This might be my funniest series so far. I mean, funniest season so far, bro. But I would say there's one clunker in there where I was like a little like, Other than that, it's like firing all 6 cylinders. So good. It's pretty crazy. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. That's our show. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe. Leave comments or recommendations. Are we missing something out there? Go ahead and, type it up in your typewriter. Let us know. Mail it. Put a stamp on it. The good old U.S. Postal Service will get it to us at some point. I'm Francisco. I'm Andres. Have a great week. 2 nerds, 1 pot. Vámonos. Let's go.